The hour tolls 11 a.m. Professor Higgins and Colonel Pickering are at 27 Wimpole Street.
Higgins is demonstrating his collection of vowel sounds to Pickering, who is most impressed.
Higgins is of the energetic, scientific type, heartily, even violently interested in everything that can be studied as a scientific subject and careless about himself and other people, including their feelings.
The professor is, in fact, but for his years and size, rather like an impetuous baby, taking notice eagerly and loudly, and requiring almost as much watching to keep him out of unintended mischief.
His manner varies from genial bullying when he is in a good humor to stormy petulance when anything goes wrong, but he is so entirely frank and void of malice that he remains likable even in his least reasonable moments.
Well, I think that's the whole show.
It's really amazing. I haven't taken half of it in, you know.
Would you like to go over any of it again?
No, thank you. Not now. I'm quite done up for this morning.
Tired of listening to sounds?
Yes, it's fearful strain. I rather fancied myself because I could pronounce 24 distinct vowel sounds, but your 130 beat me. I can hear a bit of difference between most of them.
Oh, that comes with practice. You hear no difference at first, but you keep on listening, and presently you find they're all as different as A from B.
The professor's housekeeper walks in and has something to say.
The housekeeper says a young woman wants to see the professor.
A young woman? What does she want?
The young woman says you'll be glad to see her when you know what she's come about. She's quite a common girl, very common indeed.
The housekeeper would have sent her away, only she thought the girl might talk into the machine.
Oh, that's all right. If she has an interesting accent, I'll talk to her.
Oh, her accent is something dreadful.
We don't know how you can take an interest in it.
Let's have her up. This is rather a bit of luck. I'll show you how I make records. We'll set her to talking. I'll take it down first in Belle's visible speech, and then in broad Romic. Then we'll get her on the phonograph so you can hear her as often as you like, with the written transcript before you.
The young woman is here, Professor.
The flower girl enters in state. She has a hat with 3 ostrich feathers, orange, sky blue, and red. She has a nearly clean apron, and the shoddy coat has been tidied a little. The pathos of this deplorable figure, with its innocent vanity and consequential air, touches Pickering.
The only distinction Higgins makes between men and women is that when he is neither bullying nor exclaiming to the heavens against some featherweight cross, he coaxes woman as a child coaxes its nurse when it wants to get anything out of her.
Why, this is the girl. I jolted down last night. She's no use. I've got all the record I want of the Listen Grove bingo, and I'm not going to waste another cylinder on it. Be off with you. I don't want you.
Don't you be thoughtful. You ain't heard what I come from yet. Oh, we are proud. He ain't been above giving lessons. Not him. I heard him say so. Well, I ain't come here to ask for any compliment, and if my money's not good enough, I can go elsewhere.
Good enough for what?
Good enough for you. Now you know, don't you? I've come to have lessons, I am, and to pay for 'em too. Make no mistake.
Well, what do you expect me to say to you?
Well, if you was a gentleman, you might ask me to sit down, I think. Don't I tell you I'm bringing you business?
Pickering, shall we ask this baggage to sit down, or shall we throw her out the window?
Oh no, I won't be called baggage when I've offered to pay like any lady.
The 2 men stare at the flower girl from the other side of the room, amazed.
What is it you want, my girl?
I want to be a lady in a flower shop instead of selling at the corner of Tottenham Court Road, but they won't take me unless I can talk more genteel. He said he could teach me. Well, here I am, ready to pay him, not asking for any favor, and he treats me as if I were dirt.
Is this a foolish and ignorant girl?
Surely she does think she can afford to pay Mr. Higgins.
Why shouldn't I? I know what lessons cost as well as you do, and I'm ready to pay.
How much?
Now you're talking. I thought you'd come off it when you saw a chance of getting back a bit of what you chucked at me last night. You'd had it dropped in, hadn't you?
Sit down.
No, I
don't know. Why shouldn't I? Oh, if you're going to make a compliment of it.
Sit down.
You must sit down, flower girl.
Do as you're told.
Oh,
Won't you sit down?
don't mind if I do.
What's your name?
Liza Doolittle.
Liza, Elizabeth, Betsy, and Bess. They went to the woods to get a bird's nest.
They found a nest with 4 eggs in it.
They took one apiece and left 3 in.
They laugh heartily at their own wit.
Oh, don't be silly.
Girl, you mustn't speak to the gentleman like that.
Well, why won't he speak sensibly to me?
Come back to business. How much do you propose to pay me for the lessons?
Oh, I know what's right. A lady friend of mine gets French lessons for 18 pence an hour from a real French gentleman. Well, you wouldn't have the face to ask me the same for teaching me my own language as you would for French, so I won't give you more than a shilling. Take it or leave it.
You know, Pickering, if you can consider a shilling, not a simple shilling, but as a percentage of this girl's income, it works out as fully equivalent to 60 or 70 guineas from a millionaire.
How so?
Figure it out. A millionaire has about 150 pounds a day. She earns about half a crown.
Who told you I only?
She offers me 2/3 of her day's income for a lesson. Two-fifths of her day's income for a lesson. 2/5 of a millionaire's income per day would be somewhere about 60 pounds. It's handsome. By George, it's enormous. It's the biggest offer I've ever had.
60 pounds? What are you talking about? I never offered you 60 pounds. Where would I get?
Hold your tongue.
But I ain't got 60 pounds. Oh.
Don't cry, you silly girl. Sit down.
Nobody is going to touch your money.
Somebody is going to touch you with a broomstick. If you don't stop sniveling, sit down.
One would think you was my father.
If I decided to teach you, I'll be worse than 2 fathers to you. Here.
What's this for?
To wipe your eyes, to wipe any part of your face that feels moist. Remember, that's your handkerchief and that's your sleeve. Don't make the one for the other if you wish to become a lady in a shop.
Liza, utterly bewildered, stares helplessly at the professor.
It's no use talking to her like that, Mr. Higgins. She doesn't understand you.
Besides, you're quite wrong. She doesn't do it that way at all.
Higgins, I'm interested. What about the ambassador's garden party? I'll say you're the greatest teacher alive if you make that good. I'll bet you all the expense of the experiment. You can't do it. And I'll pay for the lessons.
Oh, you are real good. Thank you, Captain.
It's almost irresistible. She's so deliciously low, so horribly dirty.
I ain't dirty. I washed my face and hands after I come. I did.
You're certainly not going to turn her head with flattery, Higgins.
Oh, don't say that, Colonel Pickering. There's more ways than one of turning a girl's head, and nobody can do it better than Mr. Higgins, though he may not always mean it.
We do hope, sir, you won't encourage him to do anything foolish.
What is life but a series of inspired follies? The difficulty is to find them to do. Never lose a chance. It doesn't come every day. I shall make a duchess of this bedraggled gutter snipe. Yes, in 6 months. In 3, if she has a good ear and a quick tongue. I'll take her anywhere and pass her off as anything. We'll start today. Now, this moment. Take her away and clean her, Mrs. Pierce. Monkey brand if it won't come off any other way. Is there a good fire in the kitchen?
Yes, but is this a good idea?
Take all her clothes off and burn them. Bring up Whiteley or somebody for new ones. Wrap her in brown paper till they come.
You're no gentleman, you're not. Talk of such things. I'm a good girl, I am, and I know what the like of you are. I do.
We want none of your listen grow brutally here, young woman. You've got to learn to behave like a duchess. Take her away, Mrs. Pierce. If she gives you any trouble, wallop her.
No, I'll call the police, I will.
Your housekeeper has no place to put her, Professor.
Put her in the dustbin.
Oh.
Oh, come, Higgins. Be reasonable.
You must be reasonable, Mr. Higgins. Really, you must. You can't walk over everybody like this.
I walk over everybody. My dear Mrs. Pierce, my dear Pickering, I have never had the slightest intention of walking over anyone. All I propose is that we should be kind to this poor girl. We must help her to prepare and fit herself for a new station in life. If I did not express myself clearly, it was because I did not wish to hurt her delicacy, or yours.
This plan has unspoken dangers. You should be uncomfortable and careful, Professor.
What's the matter?
Well, the matter is, sir, that you can't take the girl up like that as if you were picking up a pebble on the beach.
Why not?
Why not? But you don't know anything about her. What about her parents? She may be married.
Gone.
There! As the very girl properly says, gone. Married indeed. Don't you know that a woman of that class looks a worn-out drudge of 50 a year after she's married?
Who'd marry me?
By George, Eliza, the streets will be strewn with bodies of men shooting themselves for your sake before I've done with you.
You speak nonsense, Professor. There is moral danger here. You mustn't talk like that to her.
I'm going away. He's off his chump, he is. I don't want no balmies teaching me.
Oh, indeed, I'm mad, I am. Very well, Mrs. Pierce, you needn't order the new clothes for her. Throw her out.
Nah, you ain't got no right to touch me. I didn't want no clothes. I wouldn't have taken them. I can buy my own clothes.
You're an ungrateful, wicked girl. This is my return for offering to take you out of the gutter and dress you beautifully and make a lady of you?
Stop, Mr. Higgins. It's you that are wicked.
Go home to your parents, girl, and tell them to take better care of you.
I ain't got no parents. They told me I was big enough to earn my own living and turned me out.
Where's your mother?
I ain't got no mother. Her that turned me out was my 6th stepmother, but I'm done without them. And I'm a good girl, I am.
Very well, then. What on earth is all this fuss about? The girl doesn't belong to anybody, is no use to anybody but me. Now don't make any more fuss. Take her downstairs and...
But what's to become of her? Is she to be paid anything? Do be sensible, Professor.
Oh, pay her whatever is necessary. Put it down in the housekeeping book. What on earth will she want with money? She'll have her food and her clothes. She'll only drink if you give her money.
Oh, you are a brute. It's a lie. Nobody ever saw the sign of liquor on me.
Does it occur to you, Higgins, that this girl has some feelings?
Oh, no, I don't think so. Not any feelings that we need bother about. Have you, Eliza?
I've got my feelings, same as anyone else.
You see the difficulty?
What difficulty?
To get her to talk grammar, the mere pronunciation is enough.
I don't want to talk grammar. I want to talk like a lady.
You must keep to the point, Mr. Higgins. On what terms is the girl to be here? Is she to have any wages? And what is to become of her when you finish your teaching? You must look ahead a little.
What's to become of her if I leave her in the gutter?
That's her own business, not yours, Mr. Higgins.
Well, when I've done with her, we can throw her back into the gutter, and then it will be on her own business again, so that's all right.
Oh, you've no feeling heart in you. You don't care for anyone but yourself. Here, I've had enough of this. I'm going. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, you ought.
Have some chocolates, Eliza.
How do I know what might be in them? I've heard of girls being drugged by the like of you.
Higgins whips out his penknife, cuts a chocolate in two, puts one half into his mouth and bolts it, and offers her the other half.
Pledge of good faith, Eliza. I eat one half, and you eat the other. You shall have boxes of them, barrels of them, every day. You shall live on them, eh?
I wouldn't have ate it, only I'm too ladylike to take it out of my mouth.
Listen, Eliza, I think you said you came in a taxi.
Well, what if I did? I've as good as the right to take a taxi as anyone else.
Have you, Eliza? And in the future you shall have as many taxis as you want. You shall go up and down and round the town in a taxi every day. Think of that, Eliza.
Mr. Higgins, you're tempting the girl. It's not right. She should think of the future.
Not at her age. Nonsense. Time enough to think of the future when you haven't any future to think of. No. Eliza, do as this lady does. Think of other people's futures, but never think of your own. Think of chocolates and taxis and gold and diamonds.
No, I don't want no gold and no diamonds. I'm a good girl, I am.
You shall remain so, Eliza, under the care of Mrs. Pierce. and you shall marry an officer in the guards, with a beautiful mustache, the son of a marquis, who will disinherit him for marrying you, but will relent when he sees your beauty and goodness.
Excuse me, Higgins, but I really must interfere. Mrs. Pierce is quite right. If this girl is to put herself in your hands for 6 months for experiment in teaching, she must understand thoroughly what she is doing.
How can she? She's incapable of understanding anything. Besides, do any of us understand what we're doing? If we did, would we ever do it?
Very clever, Higgins, but not sound sense.
Oh.
There, that's all you get out of Eliza. Oh. No use in explaining. As a military man, you ought to know that. Give her orders, and that's what she wants. Eliza, you are to live here for the next 6 months, learning how to speak beautifully, like a lady in a flower shop. If you're good and do whatever you're told, you shall sleep in a proper bedroom and have lots to eat, and money to buy chocolates and ride in taxis. If you're naughty and idle, you will sleep in the back kitchen among the black beetles, and be walled by Mrs. Pierce with a broomstick. At the end of 6 months, you shall go to Buckingham Palace in a carriage, beautifully dressed. If the king finds out you're not a lady, you will be taken by the police to the Tower of London, where your head will be cut off, as a warning to other presumptuous flower girls. If you are not found out, you shall have a present of 7 and 6pence to start life with as a lady in a shop. If you refuse this offer, you will be most ungrateful and wicked girl, and the angels will weep for you. Now are you satisfied, Pickering? Can I put it more plainly and fairly?
You better let...